EGM Network.
Treasure Coast Connector. Connecting residents and businesses of the Treasure Coast. And here's your host, Ellen Contreras.
Welcome to Treasure Coast Connector. I'm your host, Ellen Contreras. This episode is partially sponsored by Libby Weissman and her team at Senior Transition Navigator and Luxury Homes of the Treasure Coast. Libby works with seniors and their families, helping them make decisions to ultimately live their most vibrant life in their senior years. The services are packing, moving, downsizing, decluttering, relocation, estate sales, and so much more. For a free consultation, give Libby a call at 772-783-2800. Her websites, visit seniortransitionnavigator.com and luxuryhomesofthetreasurecoast.com. So now there is a lot happening in the real estate industry. We do have falling home prices, not too bad, but we have fluctuating interest rates, new technology, streamlining systems. There's concerns about fraudulent deeds and a few other things. The good thing, though, is that with all the people moving into the state of Florida, we are a bit protected. Joining me in the studio today is the founder of Fairwater Title, Megan Norvell. She's got a lot of great information to share with us today, so welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure.
Yes, I'm happy to have you here because you are a wealth of information, and you and your team are really good about taking care of people, and we're going to get into that. But what I'd love for you to share with everyone is, why did you want to get involved in the real estate industry, dealing with title insurance, and then taking the extra step and opening up your own business?
Well, all I have to say is being a resident of St. Lucie County, and being fortunate enough to where, I have been in businesses with my family where they were business owners. So they always had some kind of idea to obviously further their future wealth, and just being put to work at a very early age. Whenever I went, I was going to show my age, but the late 90s.
Okay. Well, you were 4, for goodness sakes. Child labor.
So before high school, my grandparents were retiring, and so my mother, who also had a business with them, she has to obviously further her career and income.
Yeah.
And with her expertise of being a business owner and starting businesses, she met my stepfather, who was a personal injury attorney.
Wow.
And honestly, the match was very compatible to where they were both different kinds of people from different places. And they came together and decided to open a title company in Palm Beach, nonetheless.
Wow.
So, and that was always exciting for her. They were always the kind of people where they were either doing side jobs, they're working on their business, opening new ones. If anything, might be a little manic with the opening of the business, but they always had new ideas. They always wanted more.
Yeah.
So that was just always instilled in me. And I've been fortunate to open and, curate and keep a business in my own hometown.
Yeah.
And instead of having to leave to find work.
Which a lot of people do.
Oh, yes. Everybody left after high school, going to university. So I decided to stay and actually kind of build something here.
I love that.
And I got a lot of tools for that.
Yes, and it's great that you were a sponge, basically, and learned from your family. So now, when we're in January, so looking back on 2025, I'd love to hear about the highs and lows that affected the Florida real estate market and title insurance. So we put 2025 to bed, but what were some of the things that happened?
Well, in 2025, I think, obviously, our interest rates, since our pandemic, we're trying to level out those insurance, the climate clashing with economic realities, because the lack of moderation, and being a millennial, my whole life has been a crisis.
Yeah.
So, the adaptability of just having those changes and the public's knowledge and awareness of that, that's what we're trying to obviously make affordable. There's so many dynamics. And like right now we're in just a huge correction of whoever is in a proper place of expertise. But, overall, the whole concept of the moderation of the whole market. I mean, we could talk for hours about just different dynamics. So honestly, what is happening or what has happened is people just can't afford.
It's hard. It's really hard.
It's really hard. Even for people that do make lucrative incomes, or what we used to think was lucrative.
Yeah. I saw a video about that, about, the erosion of the ability to buy a home, despite the fact that you're well into the six figures. But another thing, property deed fraud and AI scams. So we're hearing about this on the rise nationally.
Huge.
We're dealing with it here in Florida. But now, have you dealt with anything about this? And if not, one of the things, though, about your company is that you are always protecting your clients. Absolutely. So what can you say about property deed fraud and AI scams, and how you have positioned yourself to stay ahead of that?
So, fraud is always going to be a prevalent thing, especially in this state.
Yeah. And
with the new coming of AI, I've certainly seen there's been a huge increase, even data, So property deed fraud is just simply a forwarding of the identity theft. So the whole concept of a scammer or someone that is going to defraud somebody else is they want to steal your identity, and they have certain criteria to look for certain people with certain properties, and to which they can just go ahead and just take that equity in one fell swoop. So I've seen it in many decades, definitely personally dealt with it.
Ooh, wow.
And certainly have. And but when it comes to identity theft, is since the 90s and our advancements of technology, I mean, if you have a smartphone, you're at risk.
Yeah.
Even children that are not even born yet, the information that you share online is astronomical. So first, there's your first criteria. You're already at risk just to being a person.
I know.
And then the next thing is obviously having vacant land. Right. And that's what they look for is properties that are not encumbered by anything. Something that's quick, they get it now, and they can do whatever they want with it. The next criteria that they do look for is obviously either out-of-state sellers or out-of-state owners.
Okay.
Or maybe not necessarily in that local market of where that property is based on their residence. Oh. Because that gives them an opportunity of not having any kind of in-person interaction with professionals.
Vacation homes.
Well, even structural, about the vacant land fraud.
Yeah, because
even structural is a problem.
Because actually there's a gal that I know that just bought some property out west, and it has some, I guess, I forgot what, it's like this big huge shed, but there's a name for it. I forgot what it's called.
Okay.
And and so there's a couple of structures for storage for the previous owner. I think the previous owner was using it for hunting or something like that.
Right.
So
land use problem.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
So there's so many different things, but nonetheless, your identity theft, if, everybody's at risk. When it comes to the actual deed fraud, that stems from the identity theft, verifying, and the factor of whenever those fraudulent people, they are reaching out to professionals, that's whenever, we have a lot of changes in market regulations, because you have to have a professional responsibility about what's going on.
Right.
Because even those people are not educated enough. So that changes like all the dynamics of just doing business.
Yeah. And so, but at least when your clients are working with you, they can breathe easier because you're not just, there's title companies and then there's companies like yourself that go the extra mile to ensure.
Oh, absolutely. And that's the whole difference.
So explain that a little bit.
Well, whenever you have maybe a larger corporate company or someone that's having an affiliated business with maybe a lender company that's large, in those local markets, verifying these sellers is very, very important. You're protecting your buyer and all that such. So in our job of actually doing research, things do happen to people. And so you have to be on watch, you have to be aware, and you have to try to educate even professionals in real estate and also the consumer. And now with identity theft and AI, I mean, those numbers, according to data sources, people are at risk 35% more than they were just last year. And then
that's fun. I'm not sleeping tonight, Cindy.
78% of them are already been victimized because of it.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you have the repeated victims. Yep. And it even happens to people who should know what they should or should not do when it comes to, hey, I want you to send me some money or you have a bill. I don't answer anybody's text messages, even my own bank's, but
right, exactly. If I get a text message from an organization like a bank and they want to talk to me, then what I do is I will call the bank myself. I would never respond to the phone call or to the text.
Right.
So I would call the bank myself. I would hang up on the person and, say, oopsie, sorry. Even if it was a real person, oopsie, call got disconnected, but at least I'm calling back kind of a thing.
Yeah. So you have to have your universal precautions about who you're working even with, other companies, the colleagues. And that's why the regulations of just like our legislation and making sure that people are protected is that you do have to you have to do more for that consumer than bigger companies.
Yes. Well, very good. So Cindy just told me that we have to take a break for iHeartRadio. So we will be right back. Stay tuned because we have a lot more to discuss.
There's one Broadway musical critics are calling despicable, diabolical, unseemly, and, oh yes, ingenious. The New York Times calls it amongst the most inspiring musical in years. A Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder. Don't miss the bloody brilliant winner of the Tony Award for Best Musical and the new undisputed king of musical comedy. A Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder. Now playing through February 1st at the Riverside Theater. Get tickets now at the box office or riversidetheater.com.
Well, it's that time of year. It's time for the Vero Beach Prayer Breakfast. Charlie Kirk's close friend and pastor, Rob McCoy, will be joining us to share his crucial insights. Also speaking is English author and theologian Oz Guinness.
The Vero Beach Prayer Breakfast will be held Thursday, February 12th at the Indian River County Fairgrounds. Tickets are selling fast at verobeachprayerbreakfast.com. That's verobeachprayerbreakfast.com.
Blue Dolphin Pools strives to provide quality service with a well-trained staff in the field and in the office. They want you to know that your pool or spa investment means much more to them than just another account. They believe you have entrusted them with your investment, and they'll do their best to see that it stays in top condition. Blue Dolphin Pool has been in business over 35 years, setting them apart from the competition. Residential or commercial, Blue Dolphin will keep you in the swim. 567-5853.
Are you a therapist or a nurse seeking the multi-state compact license? In the state of Florida, these and many other industries require a Level 2 live scan background check for clearance to work in your industry. A1A Fingerprints is your certified live scan source from Broward to Brevard. And if you're a medical provider, you need to be registered on the ACA web portal. A1A Fingerprints will help you navigate and comply with the law. Call 772-494-6556 or visit A1AFingerprints.com. A1A Fingerprints.
Welcome back to Treasure Coast Connector. I'm your host, Ellen Contreras, and I'm with Megan Norvell, the founder and owner of Fairwater Title. And we are going to just dive right back into this whole real estate discussion because this is your whole world. And so we spoke about what happened last year in 2025. I know you don't have a crystal ball. If you did, I would ask for the Powerball numbers just between you and me, right? But what do you think we can expect to see in the real estate market in 2026?
2026, I think, we want to make things affordable. So there's a lot of things going on in legislation about giving people that opportunity to maybe pull restrictions, to use assets that they can use now instead of later.
Yeah.
And homeowners insurance, since, the climate, and that is, it's leveling out. You see where, your neighbors there.
Yeah.
Their premiums are going down.
Thank goodness. Yes.
In Florida, in the House, there's a new bill. I didn't get through it, so I'm not extremely privy to all the information, but where they're trying to force companies to give incentives to keep those premiums low, because that's the most ridiculous part.
Yeah.
And even having insurable homes nonetheless. And just kind of like where the extreme is kind of like leveling out. We want that. And even new ideas of trying to push exemptions so people don't have to pay so much tax or property tax, which that is something that I'm waiting to see even unfold.
That'll be interesting, right?
It's I love it.
Yep.
But, there's still very unpredictability.
Yeah.
How things are going to go.
But I do like the fact that we just always seem to be a little bit more protected than other states just because we're Florida and a lot of people still do want to move here, even though they're afraid that it's not as affordable as it used to be.
Yeah, that's great.
Now, for those who are not sure what title insurance is, the first-time home buyers or somebody who bought their home many, many years ago, and they're not necessarily upsizing. Maybe they're going to be downsizing in a few years, but they really haven't had that many real estate transactions. So we forget about title insurance.
Yes.
What is it? And some people say, do I even need it?
Well, if everybody's at risk, benefits or risks. So, title insurance, nobody really understands, and that's okay.
But you do.
I do. Absolutely. And so, whenever we think of insurance, we think of homeowners insurance, auto insurance, things that we have a monthly
Health
premium
insurance,
on,
right, yeah.
Health insurance. And so title insurance is just more specialized. Those kind of insurances that I just mentioned, they are called property and casualty insurance. We are title insurance. So the actual protection is kind of based on the time. So it being that I do sell insurance policies, but it being a specialized insurance is the fact that this insurance, protection is based on the risk that is prior to you owning the home.
Okay.
So, we are trying to clear title. When we say clear title, we are doing property research in which we are making sure that all encumbrances, liens, fines, that is free and clear for you to go ahead and
nobody can lay a claim on it.
And there's criteria for that nonetheless for us to say, okay, your property is now insurable. We can give you a policy.
Okay.
Property and casualty insurance, like homeowners and auto insurance, that is where your protection is after.
Something happens.
After.
Oh, okay. I get it. Yeah.
So it's very important to have that because if you do not purchase something and the payment is only one time based on the sales price of that property.
Got it.
It is so valuable to have because there's things that may not even have existed in certain property public records where it could come up later. Even after you've sold it again.
Wow.
So, the whole digital age, nonetheless, you want to make sure that you have your policy. What does it cover? Because there are exceptions to any insurance policy.
Okay.
And there's always more coverage that you can get depending on what type of property it is.
Okay.
Or the type of, rights or structures that are around it. But it's important to know that even before or after you sold a home, that you want to make sure that you are protecting yourself, and you as a seller are going to protect the next person, because they may come back at you if there is a problem later.
Oh, that's also another good point. So now what I'd like for you to do is, you have a few different offices. So I would love for you to talk about, where you're located, talk about your team. Heather Chess was supposed to be here today, but she, she's very popular.
She is very popular.
The clients, she said her client load was very heavy today. It was good.
We're staying keel.
Yeah.
We're good.
So we miss you, Heather.
We miss you.
But yeah, give us like what your website is, your main phone number, where your offices are, all of that.
So our main office is in Port St. Lucie, Florida, and our telephone number is 772-877-3636, and our website is fairwatertitle.com.
Okay.
And we are licensed in all of the state of Florida.
Good to know.
Yes, we are able to write insurance policies and do transactions. And because of all the digital, and we do, we're very remote, even though that our local market is really here, Tri-County area, whatever.
Right.
We can do business anywhere in the state, and we make it easy for those customers to do that too. We have an office space in Fort Pierce, Florida, and we also have other colleagues that we network with and attorneys, where those offices even
are made available to you.
Available, like from, mostly East Coast. We've got 5 or 6. So we can meet anybody anywhere, do things online, and we're very knowledgeable. I've been in this business since I obviously have been born.
Yeah, you were born and raised and steeped in it.
But, it's very, even each county in different areas, it's very easy for us to go ahead and research and make sure that we're doing what we should be doing for you.
Well, very good.
Yes, we work for you.
Yes. And so now, what else would you like to touch on? We only have a couple of minutes left. So is there something else that you'd like to mention that maybe we didn't touch on earlier?
I think I would like to really mention about all of the professionals in real estate in Florida now.
Okay.
Is we have a duty to be educated about all of these new changes and things that's going to happen, in the future.
Well, there was that lawsuit that happened with the real estate association,
which I still don't even understand. Like I do and I don't, but that's the whole thing, is that nobody wants to get sued.
Right.
Okay. And no matter what, is that you have to protect yourself as a professional, to protect your clients, to educate the public. And that's why I think it's just so important that, whatever kind of professional you are in that basis of having a real estate transaction, is you are at risk for everything. And it's just, you have to keep up on all these current trends and all the things that are happening.
Yes.
It's so important.
And that is what you do.
Oh, yes.
And I bring up Heather. Oh, we only have 60 seconds. And I bring up Heather because I know her personally, and I know that she comes from the real estate world with her parents being in real estate sales. So she is well versed on both sides, real estate and title insurance. So I want to say thank you so much for being here, because people need to know that there is a boutique firm that cares. Absolutely. Beyond the sale. I love your tagline.
Beyond the sale, exactly.
Yes. And with that, I want to just say another quick shout out to Libby Weissman, SeniorTransitionNavigators.com, LuxuryHomesOfTheTreasureCoast.com. She loves working with seniors because she is a senior herself. So 772-783-2800. And my name is Ellen Contreras, host of Treasure Coast Connector. I hope everyone has a safe, productive, wonderful week. And until next week, I miss you already.